Hey, my name is James Nicholson and welcome to my property channel. Now, on this channel, we're on a journey of growing my investment portfolio and sharing with you everything that happens, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And as well as that, I'm building a portfolio for my two daughters, Georgia, who's 21, and Amelie, who's 1. Now, Georgia and I have already purchased our first property in Doncaster, and you can check out videos on this channel about how that's all going. So while you're here, join us on this journey, this investment journey, learn some stuff along the way by subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell notification. Now, in this video today, we're going to talk about the top 10 places to invest, the most affordable places to invest currently in 2022. Now, while we're there, we're also going to look through Rightmove and see if there's any good deals in those particular areas. And so maybe you can go and find some deals, or go and find some of the deals from this and start speaking to the estate agents and see how you can invest. Now, a lot of people are in the southeast and they have this belief that property is so expensive. It's not. The London properties are very, very expensive, but if you go outside London in the north, northeast, northwest, and other areas, then there's lots of incredible deals to be had. And this will show you that there's some crazy, crazy deals. So let's look at the best 10 places, or most affordable 10 places to invest. Now, first one is a place called Shildon in County Durham. Now, I'm not massively a fan of flats, so what I've done is I've excluded those up here from that. So we're looking at terrace houses, semi-detached and detached houses here. We would consider bungalows as well. That would give us a few more options. Now, the reason I'm not a big fan of flats is because leaseholds just get messy, right? I do own some flats. I've got like 3 different properties, and just to contradict myself, I'm actually buying one at the moment, another flat, but that's in a block where I already own other assets. So the reason I don't like them is just because you can get told, I've had disputes with flats where they suddenly say, right, we've got to put a new roof on, and they want $7,000 from everyone in 7 days. I think with houses, you're just in that little bit more control. So let's look in Shildon in County Durham and see what houses they've got that can be sold, that can be a good deal. Now, this one here is going into an auction. Now, that's interesting that it was in the auction on the 12th and it's still not sold. So that probably shows that it didn't achieve the. Could you say that again? It probably shows that they didn't achieve the price that they were looking for. So you could call this estate agents Patterson. I don't know these guys, and just see what they are looking for. So there's some land. Not really interested in land in this video. So let's have a look here. This is another auction property. Let's see where we can find some stuff here. Now, this one's not an auction. It's got an offer of 42,000, so you'd need to offer more than that. But let's have a look at it and see what you get. So you're getting a 2-bedroom house, and it's got the EPC of C, which is good. So that's good if you're going to be a landlord there. You don't have to up that. Now this property needs some love and attention, which is what you'd expect at this end of the market. And this is a good deal for a strategy that we call buy, refurbish, refinance, rent. And that is where you'd buy this, you'd have to offer more than 42. You'd refurbish it, which on a property like that you can normally do for less than 15 grand. We're talking kitchens and bathrooms here. Then you'd get a new mortgage on that and get the money back that you'd spent on that. So some things that you can look at on Rightmove if you want to look at deals is how much has the property sold for previously. Now, this property has sold for 50 grand in 2008, which is when the crash was. So it hasn't recovered massively from the crash, and that's fine, right? That is totally fine. If you can refurbish this and you can get it back on the market relatively cheaply, you'd hope it would be worth like 55, 60 grand. Then what you can look to do is just rent it, and you'll probably make good cash flow from this. So what you can do is a search, and so you can do a search for Shildon and see how much they rent for, right? So let's do that search. Let's have a look. Rent property to rent. Shildon in County Durham. Let's go half a mile, which is what I did before. Property type, houses. And let's have a look. Newly listed. Let's just see what the lowest is. So the lowest you might expect here is 2-bedroom mid-terrace with a garden. So 325. Now I think the one we're looking at is slightly bigger than that, but look, 350. You've got to do your research. You've got to see what people are getting in rent and could you achieve a similar rent. Now if you were getting like 400 quid and you bought a property and you're only 60 grand into it, the return on investment is very, very high there. You'd be making very good money. The mortgage would be peanuts, less than 100 quid each month, and you'd be making 400 quid, and that's a good little return on investment. So that's area number one, Shildon. Let's have a quick look if there's any more. This one's 45 grand. This one doesn't look like it needs so much work. So you could get into this one for only 3 grand more. You might be able to, with a little bit of a spruce up there, be able to rent that one straight out. Right, that looks okay to me for rental or at that level, like £400. It's already got a tenant for 425. So that's a good investment. You get 11% net yield back there, which is decent, right? So that could be an option as well. Shildon seems to be a winner. So I'm not going to go through all of those. I just want you guys to know what the area is. So we're looking at Shildon in County Durham. So go and have a look at those ones. Next, what's the next best place? Somewhere else in County Durham is called Ferry Hill. So Ferry Hill, County Durham. Let's make sure we're only looking at the houses here. I'm not interested myself in flats or apartments. I just think they're too much hassle. So we're sorting by lowest price. Lowest price is 5 grand. That's going to be an auction. Let's have a look at this. This doesn't say auction. Let's have a look at this one here. 19 grand. Okay, it says guide price. Modern method of auction. So this is going to be an auction as well. That needs a refurbishment. So you can do that for less than 15 grand. So let's have a look. What else we've got? That's going to be an auction, I reckon, because there's only one picture. Auction. Cool, let's have a look at this one. Cool, so this one's not an auction. It's been on the property a few days. On the market a few days. Decent sized rooms, so that's big, needs a full refurb, and you have how many bedrooms? 2 bedrooms there. But if you look at, there's no floor plan. Okay, fine. So you might want to ask if there's a floor plan. Look, the bedrooms are big. Not the bedrooms, the living room's really big there. You can tell just from that picture. So you might be able to reconfigure that and get an extra bedroom in there, which would increase the value as well. So that's somewhere to look. We're looking at Ferry Hill. So I'm not going too much into all the deals that are out there. I just want you to know what are the good places to invest. And let's have a quick look at some options and properties that are on the market in that area. Look, this is 45 grand for a 3-bedroom mid-terrace house. Oh, wow, that kitchen looks pretty good. Let's have a look at this. Get rid of that one. I mean, that looks in decent condition. The floor looks decent there. Decent kitchen. That is ready to go. So you might find in some of these areas, bathroom looks fine as well. You might find in some of these areas that some of these places, you could just take them on and rent them straight out. Like you might not even need to do any work. And so that's what you got to look at. Is there opportunity to add value, or should you just buy one that's in good nick already and rent it out? So you need to really just look at both sides of the market. So that is Ferry Hill, also in County Durham. Next, Stevenston in Ayrshire. So let's have a look what we've got up here. So these two are in auction. We haven't changed it to houses, so let's quickly do that. Cool. So this is the cheapest, or is that featured? Yeah, that's the cheapest. Just a little bit more expensive here. But carpets and things like that. I mean, this doesn't look too much like a lot of work here. You could probably do this for a few grand. Painting. It's got a plot of land there. It's got an end bit there, so potentially you could add an extension on there to add some more value, which could be good. Carpets definitely need redoing. Flooring needs doing in there, but that kitchen, you need to go and have a look at it. It might be all right. It might be all right, the kitchen, with a lick of paint. New floors, definitely. But it doesn't look too much work, this property. So for 59 grand, bathroom definitely, yeah, I mean, that needs to come out. That's very dated. But you can get a bathroom very, like, fitted with the labour and the bathroom for like 2 grand. So yeah, this property looks pretty good. So not too much work to do there. So yeah, there's some decent deals here. This one looks in decent nick. That's already had the work done to it, so that's worth 100 grand. So maybe if you're buying at this end, 59, then you know that you can get, well, the next cheapest one is 73. So there's potential in this market. So this is another place that's worth looking at. So we don't have time to go in and find deals on each one, but what we're looking for is just like roughly what's the price, is it worth looking, and I just want you guys to really know what the areas are. And this is from Zoopla data. So Zoopla's got all the data, same as Rightmove, and these are the most affordable places. And what they mean by affordable is they're saying in Shildon, or the first, was it called Shildon? Yeah, Shildon, the first one. What they're saying there is that you only need like 1.5 times your salary, whereas in London people need like 10, 12 times their salary to be able to afford to buy. So it's quite affordable, or very affordable in that area. That means it's unlikely that it would crash as well. So let's just get the houses up. So this is a place called Cunnock, and Cunnock is in Ayrshire as well. And so this is a featured property. It's in decent nick. That's for 90 grand. So you're not going to be able to add much value there. But I mean, if you can rent that for 700-800, it still could be a very, very good deal. This one here is 45 grand. I mean, that's pretty good, right? 45 grand. And it doesn't look like it needs much work at all. It looks like they've already done the work. So that's a good option. Really, really good option there. I'm happy with that. Oh, that's got a tenant as well, which making 7.5% on your money. So easy, straightforward deal there. So that could be an option for you guys as well. And you're not going to be spending much. 45 grand, which is pretty good. It's pretty good. So lots of good deals here. Now, what we're looking at when we're looking for a property is not like gorgeous outsides, because when people are renting it from us, they're not that fussed. They just want it clean and tidy inside. They're more concerned about, rather than the outside. Ugly houses are what going to make you guys more money. So this one looks in good nick as well. So that's another area to consider looking at, is Cumnock in Ayrshire, right? Next, let's look at Peterlee, and Peterlee is in County Durham as well. A few places up there, so it looks like a good area if you're an investor. So Peterlee, very affordable as well. All of these places so far, in fact, all of them, are the salary required that people need to be able to afford this is less than 2 times their salary, the average salary in the area, which is pretty crazy. So let's have a look at this featured property here. This one looks like it's in great condition inside. So this is on for 70 grand. Added today. I mean, that's ready to go straight away, isn't it? Really nice flooring, nice decorating, nice kitchen. That's a good one. Nice solid property there. So let's see the situation of this. So there's no chain, there's no tenants or anything like that. It's not an auction as well. So that's a good property, nice solid property. Obviously you'd need to then look, what can you rent that for? So you do the search in that area. Let's see, there's some auction properties here. These are low guide prices. When you see an auction, the guide prices often are low. That's just to get eyeballs on it. It's like starting a bid on eBay for £1, right? And then everyone comes in later, and so it's not going to go anywhere near the guide price. It's going to go for much, much, much more. But there's quite a lot of auction stuff here. So we want to get past that. And just see where are the properties that are not at auction. That's an auction, 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 auction. So cool. So this one is not an auction. Ah, okay, this one's not an auction as well. So 39,000. Now, what you've got to check, and you need to check with your broker, mortgage broker. You need to find a local mortgage broker. Can they get you a mortgage on something less than 40 grand? Sometimes they can't. Some people say you can't at all, but you can. You just need to look around, and not all brokers have access to lenders that will, because it's just not worth their time, as in the mortgage company. So this one's being rented out. So you're going to get a really good return on your money here. So if you could get a mortgage, your payments might be like 60, 70 quid, and you're going to get 360 in rent. So that could be a really, really good return there. So this is a good option. So that's only 40 grand. This one here, a 3-bedroom house. You could also use a strategy on the 3-bed called HMO, House of Multiple Occupancy. This one needs some work, so you'd have to fix this one up. But yeah, it doesn't look like too much work there. So have a look at that one as well. So that's another area that we've looked at there, and that was Peterlee, in County Durham. So let's look. We've got 4 more places to go. These are the most affordable places to invest in the UK, and so this place is called Agramont, I think, in Cumbria. Let's just take out the ones. Well, just show the ones that we're interested in. So that's the houses here. So that's in an auction. This one is not. No chain. So houses are a bit more expensive here, but still very affordable. So you could get into this sort of deal for like 23, 24 grand with your stamp duty and your deposit. And you might even get it cheaper than what they're asking for here. This looks in decent nick. Not really much work needed there. So this is more of a vanilla buy-to-let, we'd call this, where you would buy it and just put it out for rent straight away. So they reckon it will rent for 475, which is pretty good, right? So that could be a good option for you guys as well. So have a look at that. Let's have a look. Any other ones that stand out here? So these guys have got, so it says it's 90, but you've got to look, they've already got an offer for 110, so people are paying more than the asking price here. So it looks nice. Looks really good. So that would rent out pretty easy. Might need to do a bit of, take off some of that wallpaper and decorate. Not much though, right? A few grand. So yeah, that could be a really nice option for someone as well. So do go and check that one out. So let's have a look at these last 3 places. Now this one's called Girvan, and this is in Ayrshire as well. So we're sorting by lowest to highest. We're going to take just the houses. Okay, so let's have a look here. This one's got an offer, so let's not worry about that. That's an auction. 3-bedroom detached house. Nice bit of space there. Let's have a look. So these guys are looking for 84 grand. That's new carpets in there. Nicely decorated throughout. That looks decent. So what else does it tell us on here? Not much. So you'd want to look in this area to see what this can rent out for, but that's ready to go, guys, straight away. I mean, look at that. Decent finish. And yeah, you could do that very, very quickly. So go and check out this area, Girvan. Let's see what else they've got in here. So that's a 3-bed house. That looks in decent condition as well. So yeah, you want to really know how much is the rent. And this one's right by the beach, guys. So potentially, I don't know what that area is like, but it could be something you could rent out on Airbnb as well. There's another option for you guys if you were looking for a strategy for here. So this Girvan place looks pretty good, and yeah, it's affordable, which is the main thing here, and that's what we're looking for. Let's have a look for rent in Girvan. Let's just see what we can get for our money around this area. Girvan in Ayrshire. Start search. Okay, so let's just put in just houses. 5 houses for rent. Or this one, blimey. Why is that going for so much? Let's go a little bit further out then. Okay, so there's not much for rent there. So we don't want land. We do want bungalows. You might want to just chat with an agent. When you don't get many options like this, you really want to know, look, is this actually going to achieve what I think on the rent? Because we don't have any figures to go off here. So call a letting agent and just see what you would expect if you bought for 90 and it was a 2-3 bedroom house. How much could you rent per calendar month? How fast is those renting out? And all those figures are really, really important to know. Okay, 2 left. Now this is called Irvine in Ayrshire as well. Let's make sure we get just the houses. Cool, so we've got 60 houses here for sale and they're starting at 59, which is good. So this one looks in good condition as well for the money. But is it? So let's have a look here. The outside's not too sexy, but the inside looks all right. Yeah, you definitely need to decorate this. And you never know, like some people might include that in the sale price. You might be able to ask them to, because it's so out there, you might be able to say, look, can you put this back? Actually, you don't need to worry because it's got a tenant in situ. So I don't know why it's called a villa. So yeah, you might want to have a check out on this one and just see how much rent it gets. So it's already got a tenant in there. That's good. So let's have a look at a few others in this area. 60,000 here. It's been valued at 60,000, so that means you're highly likely to get that as the valuation on your mortgage, which is good. Let's have a look here. They call them all villas around here. What? I don't know what that means, but this looks all right. Looks all right. Need to take stuff out. Need to take off that wallpaper and decorate, but there's not a lot of work here. A couple of grand. So advice if you're looking in this sort of area, just find out what the rental values are. Like, just see what they can rent for. So Vine in Ayrshire. 550. These look like the similar sort of houses, don't they? 550. Let's go a bit further out. Oh, we're not getting much. There's not lots of stock for rent. Now that could be good, could be bad. Maybe everyone owns in that area. Maybe they don't. So get on the phone to these agents. Lomond, Open Rent is a platform. So just call and see if you can find out what is the rent that people are getting. And so let's look at what's the best place to get the value in the UK, and that's somewhere called Millom in Cumbria. All of these are in similar areas. And let's have a look here at what do we get? What do we get for our money for houses? There's 35 for sale within half a mile of this area. Okay, cool. This looks like a nice little project. Queen's Park. Let's have a look. Yeah, buy, refurbish, refinance, guys. This is something that you would add value to. So you just need to check the comparables. Is this lower than the houses that are done up in the area? And if it is, then you can make an offer accordingly. It doesn't look too bad. Looks pretty easy and straightforward to me. Some decorating, new kitchens and bathrooms. So that's a good option there. I don't touch these little hut things. I don't really know how they work. So they're not for me. You might be interested in those though. This one, let's have a look. This looks like it's in decent condition. It says it is, but is it? Let's have a look. I mean, the outside could do with a lick of paint, but the inside looks all good. You might want to take the wallpaper down and just decorate it. But yeah, that looks good for a rental. Like that's what people are looking for, just something straightforward like this. So those are the best 10 places in the UK for affordability. I'm interested to know what your thoughts are. Now, that means that those places, people don't need large salaries to be able to afford to buy. Normally they need just up to 1.5% of their salary to buy, which is very different to the southeast of England. It does mean though that you won't get so much capital appreciation. These houses are less likely to go up as fast as they would in the south, but you should get really good return on investment, like because your rent is going to be high compared to your mortgage payments, and so that means these places are good for cash flow, which is an important part of property investing. You need to get paid rent. So that's it from me. I'm James Nicholson. I just thought you'd be interested in knowing those top 10 places. Ask any questions that you've got, or let me know what places do you think they've missed out on this list that they should have included. Subscribe to the channel and go and check out the content that's going to come up here on how I bought my most recent property from auction. Thanks guys, I'll see you soon. Bye for now.